Hi, and welcome to General Meeting. I'm Becky Sloviter. I'm trying something new here, so thank you, first of all, for bearing with me. This is approximately the 79th take I've done of this, but I've never talked to a camera before. I've never done any of this stuff before. So, as you know, my favorite word, vulnerable, this is really vulnerable, and I'm just doing my best here. So, thank you for bearing with me. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And here goes nothing. My guest today is writer-director Joe Carnahan. Joe is an old friend, and we had a lot of fun catching up. He just released an incredible film on Netflix called The Rip, starring unknown actors Matt Damon and Ben Affleck, and an insane supporting cast surrounding them. I loved this movie. He indulged all of my questions about it, including how it came together, his history with Matt and Ben, and what it was like directing them. And we also talk a lot about the rest of his body of work. He directed an old favorite of mine, The Grey, starring Liam Neeson. I'm freezing cold just thinking about it. He directed SMOKIN ACES, NARC. He's really a legendary filmmaker. And he's also an old buddy. So this was like a really fun catch up with an old friend. And finally, I got someone here who could indulge my love of Midnight Run because he loves it just as much. So I hope you enjoy. See you next week. Joe Carnahan. Welcome to General Meeting with Becky Sloviter.
Becky, I must tell you, only I would drive 3 days to
Literally.
be here for you. And this
Across the country.
By the way, from Monrovia, California,
yes,
to Calabasas, California, you're better off going to Hanoi, Vietnam.
Truly.
Yeah. I would only come here for you, and I'm glad to be here. And I love, by the way, the Chris Saherlis glass is just epic.
How great is this? Matt got it for me for Christmas.
Brilliant.
I got him a mug for Christmas that said, "For me, the action is the juice," because
Oh
we're
my
such
God,
heat
freaks.
psychopaths. And we didn't know we got it for each other. How great is this?
It's brilliant.
Sent it to our friend Adam, and he was like, "Is that a straight up Chris Saherlis mug?"
Is Leo playing him in this?
That's what we think. No, nothing confirmed, but like, yeah,
It's pretty great.
Don't you think?
It's pretty great.
I know.
That movie so holds up. My God. Oh my God.
Oh my God. It's perfect in every way. I feel like I see new things each time.
Yeah.
Which is actually a great segue to talking about Joe Carnahan. I am so honored that you're here, but also you are here when you have the biggest fucking movie in the world just came out this weekend.
I know. How crazy
The
is that?
Rip, starring two up-and-coming actors named Matt Damon and Ben Affleck.
You may have heard of them. Young upstarts.
I think they have a future.
They may.
We'll see.
They may indeed.
Tiana Taylor, Stephen Yeun.
Yeah.
I could go on and on. Kyle Chandler.
Yes.
Sasha Kaye.
Yeah.
Catalina Santino Moreno. I have no words for your cast.
Lena
It's insane.
Esco. They're just all fantastic. I know.
Oh my God.
Nestor Carbonell, Clint
comes in
Chamberlain.
for one scene.
Yeah. JP Cantillo. All these people
I'm just going to pop in.
I know.
Scott Adkins.
Scott Adkins.
Oh my God.
Steals.
How great is that moment? What's he doing? He's fighting with his brother.
Fighting with his brother.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Yeah. Scott was so, by the way,
Buddy?
Scott sent me from London right when he was done watching it. And he said, don't ever show this to anybody. He was really emotional.
Yeah,
he said, that ending just ripped me up, man. The ending ripped me up. He said, mate, I don't know what to tell you. Because I just think Scott Adkins is a fucking movie star.
And that moment between them at the end.
Oh, I
Give
love
your
that
big
scene.
brother loves you a hug.
I love that scene so much.
It's so good.
There's one moment in there, but he ad-lib, which is he says, you okay? Because he knows what he's done. He knows what he's done. He knows what he's done with Nick.
100%.
And he's like, I'm all right. It's like, okay. It's that beautiful little, they only have those two scenes. One, they're trying to kill each other.
Yep.
But it's so funny. I told Scott, when you walk out of that spotlight, dude, and we're right here, when I saw it the other night to Juilliard, which I made a joke. I'm like, I guess you couldn't keep me out of here. Could you, Juilliard?
I love
2.6 GPA.
Yeah.
But
not to brag.
Exactly. But that moment, everybody went nuts.
So there are so many of those moments throughout, which actually, and we're gonna get to bigger picture of your entire amazing career, but also this is a special fucking movie.
Yeah.
And it rewards a rewatch. I watched it again last night.
Yes.
There are things you pick up on a second time. Like I'm gonna go watch it again a third time. It is a different experience watching it the first time because boy, do you not know.
You just try to keep up.
Correct.
Yeah.
And, I've said this to a bunch of guests. Matt and I, we do this for a living. We're often just out ahead of the story.
Sure.
We're like, yeah, okay, this is the guy who's good. had no idea.
Right.
So you hide it and there's layers and it's really, you don't see these twists coming. And you have these two incredible movie stars and this, frankly, there's the supporting cast, but they're also movie stars. Like, your cast is insane.
Yeah, they were great.
The way you always direct action is incredible. You're such a shooter. It always looks beautiful.
Right.
This is a whole different level to me of how propulsive and tense and also intimate.
Sure.
That's what all of your stuff to me always comes together.
That's lovely, Becky. And listen, I had really great, Scott Rogers is my second unit director. He's a brilliant guy.
Yeah.
Juan Miasparos, who shot the movie, the DP, is a brilliant guy.
Gorgeous.
Russ Faust, our gaffer, is a brilliant guy. Like, there are really, really talented people that made it look that good. And when you surround yourself with people better than you, you know what I mean?
It's a great
they
policy,
bring you
right?
Up, they bring you up. Iron sharpens iron, but it's like literally, it's like there's such a great, to have that level of, and I think this is the 7th or 8th film I've done with Juan Mi, because I produced Jeremy Rush, who did Wheelman, which is a movie I produced that I love.
Yeah.
That was my first introduction to Juan Mi.
Yeah.
And I saw how much he stuck up for Jeremy and really pushed back on us.
Right?
It matters.
Yeah.
That degree of loyalty.
Totally.
And of course, Jeremy makes fun of me now because he says, "Yeah, you stole my DP." I kind of did. But just again, to have that level of competency, and talent, and from top to bottom is so rare. And it's like, you got to be a schmuck. And trust me, I can be a schmuck. But you have to go out of your way to screw that up. If the material is right, if the script works, and you're not chasing that, which I think always tell me it's the least expensive part of the process, the actual writing the screenplay. Get that right. Get it right instead of going, well, the only honest to God, Becky, the only movie I could think that where it worked, where they had like 60 pages of script when they started, was Die Hard. That's it. That's the only one.
It's really interesting too, because as a producer, and you've, I'm sure, experienced this as the writer, director, producer, you wear a lot of hats, but there's sometimes script issues that you're like, okay, but we got to get into production. We'll fix it in post, but like, we'll figure it out.
Right.
Always comes back to haunt you.
Sure.
And so when you were crafting this, you worked with Mike McGrail, and then you wrote the screenplay, and that is a tight fucking script. Well, there's not a wasted minute in there.
I think Mike and I spent a lot of time dialing that in because I know it's like, once I got it, it's like, it's better. I'll move faster if I'm alone, right? It's like, you know what I mean? It's like,
yes,
I'll
do.
move faster alone.
Yes.
But at the same time, it's like, I was so indebted to Mike because he's such a great writer and he's such a big idea guy, Mike. To have him, it's like, who knows if we run this back, with these guys.
Yes,
it's like the to have that level of expertise around you, and it's kind of, it's a blessing. It really is.
It's
it doesn't happen enough. And what's crazy, Greg? It's like, listen, because you've experienced this as a producer, then you're also running a company, and it's like how difficult it is to do it at any level. And you hope that, I always say this, it's like, listen, we're artists, right?
Yes.
You don't age like an athlete.
No.
You're not a blown knee or rotator cuff away from that's my career. You can get better. Exactly. And I think I thought Terrence had that silly shit he said about you're done, and Tony Scott was making his best movies in his 60s. He really was.
Totally.
He did Man on Fire in his 60s.
Yes.
So I believe that you can, as you matriculate through this business, you can get better and better and better.
You're teeing me up to go a little bit back to the beginning, and I can't help it because I'm such a big fan of NARC. And in revisiting so much of your work in prep for this, for you to have that movie as, I know it wasn't your very first, that was Blood, Guts, Bullets, and Octane.
Blood, Guts, Bullets, and Octane got me to Sundance,
So then you do NARC. This is 2002 when it comes out. Is that right? December 2002. Okay. I'm also going to weave in a little bit how we know each other.
Yes.
So my very first job out here, I was an agent's assistant at Endeavor. You were his client.
Yes.
And you were, and this is why 25 years later, when we were setting this up, I was like, buddy.
Because I would call that.
I was so busy getting my ass kicked, 5 lines ringing at all the same time. I'm new to Hollywood. I don't know anything, but I'm like trying to keep my head above water. And you were just the fucking best. You would call,
that's great,
and like many lines, I would be like, I'm sorry, I don't have them. May I have them return it? I'm sorry, I don't have, like, it was ridiculous. I'm like Jane Fonda in 9 to 5. Right. But then you would call, I'm like, let those lines ring. Buddy, what are you doing? You were just the fucking best. And then Matt threw me a 26th birthday party, a surprise, and you showed up.
That's right.
And I was like, Joe Carnahan is at my birth. Like,
That's
I
so
couldn't.
great.
You just have always been such a fucking human, even though
I love
NARC
that.
shot you out of a cannon.
Yeah.
Tom Cruise comes on to produce
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
It's amazing.
Yes.
And then you've gone on, you know, as I said in the intro, SMOKIN ACES.
Right.
So let me go to that for 1 second,
Yeah.
because I fucking love that movie too. And revisiting that, talk about, you have such an eye for cast. It's insane.
That was, you know, listen, Chris Pine had been in, it's so funny. There's a great story when Pine does the you know, is manipulating Ben Affleck's dead mouth to kind of forgive him.
Yes.
I'll never forget Ben said, dude, if I could take 10% I'm going to make for the rest of my career and bet on someone, I'd bet on that kid.
100%.
And so, you know, that and I think what's funny is you mentioned like after Tom Cruise, I was on Mission Impossible 3 for like 15 months.
Yes.
And left, and it was one of those things where it's like,
Yeah.
I left, but I was not going to, it was like, you can go, but we're, you know, it's like I kind of fired myself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's like, I would say it's like, we were going to have the gunfight in the street. I just shot him in the saloon. That's all. We were going to have the gunfight,
Let's
right?
save some time
Yeah.
here.
But Tom got, you know, NARC a big, but I think, you know, that was, I think SMOKIN ACES was a lot of my artistic reaction to that process and just kind of going nuts. And you know, it's funny, I watched it not too long ago and it's such a kind of a nihilistic, it's like, and I always felt like that was a bit of Stacey Sanders on the way out. She just took this hand grenade and kind of rolled it back to the incoming regime. Hey, release this one, because that was working title.
Yeah.
So it was,
right.
but I'm like, wow, they would never, ever let me make this movie now.
No. And you're
not with that downer ending. There's no way.
No. But, and you know, this is going to be a Nestor Carbonell fan cast. I'm just kidding. But having him in one scene in The Rip and his amazing performance in SMOKIN ACES.
That's his scene with Matt Fox.
Oh my God. In that elevator.
Yeah.
Oh,
the elevator gunfight.
Taraji, Alicia Keys.
Yes.
Just everybody.
Kevin Durant.
Common.
Yeah, Common. Yeah. I mean,
incredible.
We had
but that whole
Joel Edgerton's in that movie.
Yes.
People realize Joel Edgerton's in that movie.
Holy, I literally turned to Matt as we were rewatching. I was like, wait a minute. Is that Train Dreams? What's happening? Joel Edgerton.
Yes. Yeah.
No, it's incredible.
Crazy.
So I feel like you are always getting people on their way up to some degree, but also, so is that when you and Ben Affleck first connected?
Yes.
Because on my favorite podcast, New Heights, with Jason and Travis Kelce, Matt Damon was saying, so Joe Carnahan, who knew Ben from SMOKIN ACES, brought us this script. So tell us.
I knew Matt before I knew Ben. Matt had hosted a screening of NARC years ago for me. That's how I met Matt. And then saw Matt again, like Paul Greengrass's birthday party and somewhere. And so,
as you do.
Right. Yeah. Some crazy, again, right?
Love it.
And then it was just like, we'd always kind of been pals. And it just was one of those things where it's like, the timing just was like, and honestly, Becky, it almost never, you know this, it almost never happens like this.
No.
Where I wrote a script in 5 weeks and I had those guys like 2 weeks later. And then we're shooting that same year.
And the proof is in the pudding. I'm curious because it's a real two-hander. Like, that is not Matt's movie and it's not Ben's movie, even though Dane is, you know, the LT, he's in charge.
Sure.
But that is, so do you take it to them and are you writing it with them in mind? And do you take it to them like, do you know who you want to play who?
No.
How does it come together?
I got to give Danny Bernthal a lot of credit.
Yeah.
Danny was at RSX. I love Danny. I love me some Danny Bernthal.
That's awesome.
She was really the ignition on this thing because she said, give me 48 hours because there were 2 other actors that Pasadena'd on me, that passed, who shall remain nameless.
Yeah, we'll talk shit off camera.
Yeah, we'll talk shit off camera. But it wasn't like a hard, listen, I respected him, but honestly, all things being equal, what an amazing piece of what could have been bad fortune, it turns into gold.
Literally.
Because I never thought that would be a possibility. It was like,
no.
Danny just said, give me 24 hours. 24 hours later, I was talking to Matt. 24 hours after that, I was talking to Ben. And the first thing he says, like, I mean, what do you think about cast? I was like, I don't know, like Liza Minnelli and Pauly Shore. What do you mean by cast? You guys.
Think we can get him?
And you know what's great, Becky? I think Matt had something he's going to do, didn't happen, and then Ben was pushed to the movie he's going to direct, which is Animals.
Yeah.
And we just had this slot, and we went for it. And like I said, it was just it's like the clouds parting, the stars aligning, everything, kismet, karma.
I'm sure hugely because of artist equity and their, not just who Matt and Ben are, but their model, their ability to do that.
I mean, they stuck to that and they really were amazing.
Disciplined in that way. No, it's incredible.
Here's the money. We're not getting any more. Let's make the movie.
Correct.
Which I can do every day of the week.
I was just going to say, this is where you're such a pro. You're so experienced. Yeah. And, you know, they are movie stars with crazy schedules and all of that, but you made it work. It's how I want to see them. I want to see them in every which way, but like, give me the town,
100%.
inject that shit into my veins, but
100%.
give me Matt and Ben on screen together. That scene in the bathroom at the beginning.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, but you think about this, Becky. Listen, I'm in my, you know, we're not getting any younger.
No,
right?
we're not.
And a lot of that whole scene about, I think I wake up thinking about time.
Yes.
I do.
Yes.
I think about my kids. I think about, like, it's like Matt said on the Heights, that thing, you know, don't blink. Because your kids are suddenly, you know what I mean? Don't blink.
That really hit me.
And it's like that,
Yes.
but I really do. It's like, you know, what am I going to do with it? How have I spent it? And I think that was part of that, going through what I was going through at the time before, when I was writing Rip, which is a really difficult personal moment, not any fun.
Yeah.
I was like, what am I doing with my time? How am I going to spend it? What am I going to do with what's left?
Totally.
And I think these are but again, to watch Matt Damon do that, who never looks like he's acting.
No.
I mean, when I tell you, Beck, when I tell you that man is an absolute angel, he really is. He's an extraordinarily decent human being.
Yes.
And a dad and a husband and like just the guy you see on the Kelsey, the
How about
podcast
him?
is him.
Right?
Yeah.
My friend Amy is now running their company, Amy Bear, and she's the fucking greatest. But I know a million people who say the exact same thing about him.
Yeah.
And that moment on New Heights at Fenway and Green Monster.
Right.
And he's like, I'll never need therapy.
I know that.
It's like fucking Field of Dreams.
Yes.
You know?
Your
like,
dad's throwing you
want to have a
BP
catch?
and you bounce one off the Green Monster.
Oh my
Come on,
God.
man.
Get out of here.
It's amazing.
What I thought was also incredible. So as you are, because we're not going to give anything away, because The Rip is my favorite kind of movie. You go in, you're excited, but you do not know at every turn what is going to happen.
Yes.
Who's pulling levers, all of it. And it keeps you guessing until that fucking incredible moment in the Lenco.
Right.
Again, I won't say more.
Right.
Even the way you fucking shot that. With the, my God.
But there's the moment you know it's on is there's one, it's a 4-shot, and there's one camera move that slides as Ben sits forward, and you realize everything's changed. That's because you had to, and again, I give me and Russ at the gaffer so much credit for setting that up, because all the light play, everything you're seeing pays off. You see the color green in there, you see the color red in there, you see all this, and you go, oh my God.
Yep.
This is, and again, without giving it away, it's like there is this, the move was afoot, you know, which is
correct.
so cool. Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's
and you don't
kabuki.
see it coming.
Yeah.
And I think because we are so familiar with Matt and Ben as movie stars, but people in culture. And, you know, I was even thinking as I was watching it, Matt's role in The Departed, I mean, The Departed is another one that I'll watch 5 times a year. I couldn't love it more.
Yeah, you and me both. Yeah.
So his role in that looms large. And I found upon first watch and then rewatch, it was different, just having certain things in my head, like a bias, but that works with it, and it keeps you really guessing. Yeah. Oh my God.
But I mean, it's just that moment where DiCaprio gets like, wow, like,
I remember I turned to Matt Smith when we walked out of The Departed, and I was like, and I want to walk right back in and see it again. Like I never, it's so rare to have that experience.
Oh, so that's what you want to see Marty do.
Yes,
those types of movies, right? You want to see that. You really do. You want to see him do that kind of movie. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
What was his name? The Departed. Oh my God, I love it so much.
Right.
Okay. So it's these two guys and then this incredible cast, but you also infused it with this real emotionality. The Jackie stuff, the Matt Damon's son.
Yes. Yeah.
That killed me.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's that beautiful last shot on the beach.
Yes.
On their back. Oh, my God.
Right.
It's so good. Again, I don't want to give anything away.
No, but it's big. I knew there was going to be iconography that came out of this. I knew there was going to be moments where people went, that's a special, you know.
100%.
And again, but in large part because these guys have been childhood friends. And it's like, listen, like I said, you have childhood friends, and these two separately become major movie stars. It never happens. It's like having Eli and Peyton Manning in the same family, right?
Exactly.
It's like Super Bowl champs, Super Bowl MVPs.
Yes.
So, and you're absolutely trading on that. And the movie trades on that. And the movie trades on the meta of also like, well, Jason Bourne can't be a bad guy.
No.
Batman can't be a bad guy.
Totally.
But so it's playing with all that stuff.
And their friendship, one of the other, I remember seeing the trailer, and I probably reached out to you right after because I was like licking my chops. I'm like, I can't fucking wait for this. The part in the trailer, and because you are such a good filmmaker, they're sitting there and they're talking to Sasha Kaye's character, and she's seeing the tattoos on the hands.
Yes.
You know, what does that stand for?
Yeah.
Are we the good guys? And just like Ben's eye movement, like but you linger on them, and it's just a quick little glance, but you stay on them in still for, oh my God.
Yeah.
And that, again, it's Dane and JD.
Yes.
But it's also Matt and Ben. And
it's Matt and Ben. When they find the rip and they're in the attic, and he says, dude, dude, this is me and you now.
Exactly.
That's Ben talking to Matt.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And there's moments where they, you know what I mean?
I was about to bring that up.
Yeah.
And then at the very end, not the very end, but further down when you reveal a conversation that's been had.
Yes.
And yes, it's
so funny. It's so funny because it's like, I think I could talk about this because it's like, there was a line in there. There's a line we had in the scene with Sasha Kaye with Matt. And we moved it to the end and we decided to lose it altogether. But it was a line I always loved. It was, and it was before he basically says, good, nice job, good work,
Yeah.
Where he says, I couldn't stop it. I couldn't catch the thing that killed my kid. And you realize that's
the driver.
Had to,
Yep.
And it was such an emotional line. But I think wisely, you're just playing on this guy's face and you see it. And you have to have that.
When you have Matt Damon,
no kidding,
you can do that.
Well, like we had a page and a half scene with him and Steve Yeun that literally came down to Mike, stop. And I remember sitting on stage, the whole cruise around for 40 minutes, the three of us rather, just working that out. And I'll never forget, I was like, I'll never forget this moment. With these two extraordinarily talented guys, these great actors, and we're doing it right now. We're making the movie right now, standing here, about to go on set in the swamp and do this whole, it was amazing.
What a fucking just treat for you as a filmmaker also to have all of this and to have these collaborators who can do that. And that's always my favorite part also of really like getting in the shit, working with artists and finding it, like having being such a pro and you have an incredible team surrounding you. So you can like, all right, we got to figure this out.
Yeah.
Like, yes, we wrote something great, but actually we can be more efficient here and it's going to be more impactful.
Yes.
Mike, stop.
Yes.
I mean,
that's it. And by the way,
how good is Steven Yeun in your movie?
Oh my God. Steven
Everyone.
Yeun, the most reluctant movie star. Like he's such a, I love the guy so much. It's like, but he is so kind of like, he just wants to do work and be left alone.
He's the greatest.
He's great.
Matt,
he doesn't have any time for the nonsense.
Matt,
he really doesn't.
And he and Matt made a movie in Serbia together in 2016 called Mayhem. I don't know if you've ever seen this movie. You would love this.
Joe Lynch?
Yeah.
Yes.
Joe Lynch's movie Mayhem.
It's great.
So Matt produced that. So they find themselves in Serbia. It was Steven Yeun's first starring role. And he's like, he is such a good guy. And exactly like reluctant movie star.
Steve's just like, and it's so funny because it's like, he's a Detroit guy. He reminds me of my cousins.
Yes.
He has the same vibe. It's like,
when
Detroit goes in, okay, great, prove it. This sucks. No, but not in a dismal way. Just like, okay, yeah, we've heard that. Okay, what do you got? We've gotten our asses kicked, historically.
My friends who are Lions fans, I'm like, I'll be texting our friend Adam whenever the Lions are like about to win something. He's like, I won't believe it until it's like you guys are so beaten
Ben
down.
Johnson didn't win. That's
all.
Those the Bears got beat. They're like,
By
Lions
the way,
fans are happy.
Coming here. So your 49ers beat my Eagles.
Beat your Eagles. Mark Vic Fangio. I want to steal Vic Fangio.
By the way, how great is Vic Fangio?
Oh my God,
love him.
Sorry,
Miami and blah blah blah.
I know, right?
Is this your frustration as a 49ers fan? Like, they looked so incredible when they were at the link killing my birds that day. Right. And then what the fuck happened?
Do you know the whole scuttlebutt about the electrical substation near Levi Field?
No.
That is apparently creating collagen damage. They are the most injured team in the last 5 years. It's not even a close second. Wow. They should have never left Candlestick. They should have domed that place, stayed there. To be that's injured.
Fucked up. I didn't know about
Bosa, Warner, Fred,
I know. Fred Warner. Oh my God.
Kittle, Achilles. Like, what the hell?
I love Kittle.
I know
you have so many great players. Like, I don't root for the 49ers, but I don't hate the 49ers at all.
I don't root for the Eagles, but I love Jalen Hurts.
Jalen, Saquon. I mean, that whole team.
They're too good.
Yeah, they're
too good.
I know. Who do we want to win the Super Bowl now? Who do you think's going to, I should say?
I think it's going to be Pat's Seahawks. Seahawks.
Matt thinks the Seahawks.
And I want, because Sam Darnold. My dad hates the Seahawks with a passion because he's 49er fan.
Yeah.
He will not root against Sam Darnold. He's like, I love that guy. He's just been, because Darnold, now, I think there's a lot of pressure on him because it's like you go 14-1 and you miss the big...
Totally. The memes of Sam Darnold, is he going to go to another team or be working at McDonald's, was like a year and a half ago.
Right.
Like, how are we...
But the Jets destroy everybody. The Jets ruin everybody.
It's so true.
It's like the Jets or the Raiders. It's like this poor Mendoza kid from Indiana. You go to the Raiders, it's like,
I'm so sorry, buddy.
But it feels bad. It feels abusive to hate the Raiders because they're so...
I know.
But I love Raider fan. Raider fan is the most... If we could channel that optimism...
You were born in Michigan, but you did high school at least.
I did high school in
Northern California.
Yes.
Is that why you're a Niners fan?
Yes.
And you weren't close enough to the Raiders.
I wasn't. No, my dad
Niners.
was like, it was because the Niners, I think the year we moved out, they went like 3-11 or something. And so my dad's like, and it's like, he's a Giants fan. He's not.
Yeah.
But it's like when the Lions played the Niners in that championship game, you just
Who's going to Buffalo? Sean McDermott's out. I thought the same thing, but I heard Tomlin's going to take the year off. It's so crazy right now, but that's the first thing I thought.
Like these people watch this, they're an industry thing. You and I just turn into fucking like
exactly.
talk radio.
It's Good Morning Football, and I want to talk about all the things.
I know, right now.
So back to
I love it.
Back to good luck to the
yeah.
Seahawks and the Pats. Probably, I just hate the Broncos so much. I just don't want them.
How about Bo Nix going out
see.
This is the last thing we'll talk about. That poor kid.
It's unbelievable.
Awful,
it's truly,
injury
even though I hate the Broncos, I feel horrible for him. Yeah. But, okay, so you are born in Michigan. When you're 13, you guys moved.
Yeah. I'm born in Dover, Delaware, in an Air Force base.
Ooh.
Moved to Michigan.
Was your dad
in the Air Force? Yeah.
Okay.
We lived in Utah for a second, then back to Michigan, where the whole family is.
Yep.
And lived in a little small town in Middle Michigan.
Okay.
And I happened to be near CMU, Central Michigan University. Yeah. But I remember being like, I got MTV day one because I was near College Town. And honestly, it changed my life.
We talk about this a lot. 100%. Yeah. If you are a Gen X person who grew up sitting here and there's MTV, the influence. There was a great podcast about this. Yeah. I'll tell you, I forget the name.
I have the rights to the VJs. Mark Goodman was in New York.
And
Mark and Alan and
Alan
Nina,
Hunter.
Alan Hunter.
Oh my God.
I walked Mark Goodman up to my brother, and Mark just started talking. My brother went, "Oh my God, it's Mark Goodman."
We always say like MTV raised us. It's really true.
By the way, it's the first time I saw the East Village was like the Stones video, Waiting on a Friend. I'm like, man, that looks cool. And Bowie just teaching me like, Bowie was like, okay, there's something else out there that I don't know about. Yes. There's a cool or an inaccessibility that I have to access. It's like, it was just like, it was a huge.
It's incredible.
Yeah. And then going out to the North Bay when I was a kid.
Yes.
And being in kind of the most like ethnically rambunctious, coming from like kind of lily white.
Yeah.
And then, and I was telling my brothers, like all our friends growing up were black, Guamanian, Filipino, Mexican. Like we had this, it was like, we were like the two white boys. I swear to God. And it was so great.
It's you and you the oldest, and then your brother Matthew.
And my sister Leah.
Okay, so Matthew Michael Carnahan, who is an incredibly acclaimed screenwriter.
Yes, he's a hell of a writer. Much better writer than me. And he made a movie called Mosul for Netflix that is so underrated and brilliant.
That's
and
awesome.
If you can watch, by the way, the whole movie's in Pan-Arabic. My brother didn't speak a word of Pan, but it's
he's
beautiful.
Incredible.
Smart, talented, the whole thing. Yeah.
You lucked out. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, no kidding.
And then Leah.
Yes.
Who was
same thing, handsome, beautiful, smart.
Who was the greatest.
My sister's the funniest one in our family.
That's so funny.
I love it. She's just so. We just had everybody for Christmas. We all got together with our folks and
so
my
nice.
brother's family.
Here?
It was like in Napa, near where my parents are.
So they're still in Northern California, where you went to high school. So you went to Fairfield High School. 137 out of 150. Never abandoned the dream.
Never abandoned the dream.
Your Instagram post this weekend was so fucking funny. So you graduate. Do you go right to Sacramento State?
No, I go to JUCO.
Okay.
Junior college.
Solano
Community College. Just shout out to Solano Community College.
Yeah.
And I had a teacher there, Miley Ornelas, and she taught this film class, and it was like a sandbox. And we had, Super 8 cameras, and we had a television studio we had access to. So we just did a bunch of stuff. And then I went to San Francisco State for almost a half a year. Then I went back to Sac State.
Okay.
And I had a professor there that I mentioned, named Roger Vale.
Yes.
Who's a photographer.
Yes.
Hell of a photographer. And he really, I'll never forget, I turned this short in, I had to be, like 20, called Solid Waste. And he said, well, I'll tell you, Joe, it's an apt name because this is trash. And I was like, what? Okay. I'm like, and he literally just said to me, this is, you need a level of excellence. You need a level of,
totally.
You're going to show something to someone. You better have put the time in. I'll never forget it. I passed on a loop. Europa Corp wanted me to direct this thing. It was like, it was Kevin Costner, 3 Days of Rain or something like that.
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
And I'll never forget, I don't feel like I'm Diamond. I'm just saying, guys, if you keep doing this, stop doing it. But I remember reading the script, and I read it, and on page 2 was the exact same scene break I'd read from page 1. I'm like, you didn't even... And to me, I go, no.
It's funny you say that, because as a producer, I think about that a lot. The attention to detail and the care that you put into everything, it shows up. Like, I heard someone say this recently, and I love this. the way you do anything is the way you do everything.
100%.
And
100%.
I always find, whenever I'm working with someone on a draft that we're going to submit to the studio or we're going to go to an actor or whatever, I always call myself the comma Nazi, but I'm also
right.
like spelling mistakes, little things like that.
Yes.
And the laziness and just like check your fucking work, which
Get in front of it. Yeah.
kind of brings me back to when we first met, because that standard of excellence from the agent I was working for, he was, first in the building, last to leave, had 5 lines ringing all at once. You just had to be so good.
Yeah.
And then I went to work for Mary Perrin at Universal.
Oh, wow.
Same thing.
Right.
So it was such an amazing training ground.
Sure.
So this professor says this to you about solid waste.
Yes.
Are you like, okay, good, great, let me try harder.
Yeah, I think
or whatever
you
it is.
rock back on your heels, and there's 2 ways to listen. It's like, it's so funny. I always invariably, when friends don't hang around or friendships don't keep, it's one of 2 things. It's like they're unable to accept criticism, and they don't know how to apologize.
Yes.
Right. And I thought to myself,
That's
what
tough.
if you want to go this route and just be offended?
Yeah.
There's that energy you could spend, or you can actually take, this is somebody I respected or thought was really talented,
Yes.
telling me this is trash.
No.
Fix it.
Doing
And
you
he
a
was right.
favor.
I had bad
Exactly.
edits. It's like you took the time to put the short film together. Do it right.
Well, exactly. And he clearly saw the talent in you and cared enough.
Right.
Those sort of come to Jesus conversations. I don't know
Yes.
if it was that dramatic, but like that really does, you got to be grateful for those.
Yeah. Because you can, it's just, and how you choose to process that feedback. Is
Totally.
everything. It's everything.
Feedback can be really painful. And it's also, I love Brene Brown so much. And she has this notion that being straightforward, but being clear is the kindest thing you can be.
Yes.
And I really take that forward with everything I try
Absolutely.
to do work-wise.
Yeah.
It's uncomfortable to give someone bad news. They're passing. This isn't going. Whatever the news is, you just got to do it in a
gotta keep
kind
moving.
way, but real straightforward.
Yes.
The worst thing is hiding the ball and avoiding. And
That's the worst, but especially in this business.
I was gonna
because
say.
you'll be exposed.
Yes.
and it's a silly thing to be exposed for, because it's like, why? Like,
Well,
just get on with it.
And this brings me back a little bit to the rip too. And, I'm curious about your experience making it. The notion of trust.
Yes.
There is, it runs through your script.
Yes.
Matt and Ben sort of famously as human beings clearly have this great partnership and this great trust.
Yeah.
You as the filmmaker, your actors are trusting you.
Yeah.
You are in the shit with them.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
they can rely on you.
Yeah,
And
neck
they
deep in it. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So was it a super collaborative process?
Oh, yeah.
And one that just like, it feels to me, and again, it went so quickly also, because you have no time to bleed.
No,
Like, we'll just quote Predator all day.
Exactly.
but-
No time to bleed. Right,
Exactly.
Right.
But did you find that as you got in there, were you having to make changes?
No, I think that, listen, you just have to be available and open to those things, right? It's like the old Fellini quote about all I need to make movies to be open and available to all things at all times, all ideas, and for someone or something to oppose me. Now, the second part of that, I used to really need. I don't need it now. I just need the first part. I need to be open and available and like it's like, guys, my standard joke was always like, that's great. I'll take credit for that in the DVD commentary. You know what I mean? It's like, but it's because it's such, people realize it is a communal effort.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. You are deploying for war when you're making a movie,
100%.
and your weakest link it will show up. So you got to really be. We talk about casting, but
great
also
way to
casting
put it.
your crew is a big deal. Getting the right people to do the right job is huge.
I could not agree more. The movie that I made last year, Adam, the director, and I, we wanted everyone to really feel and know we're all a part of something bigger here. And it's only exactly as you said, like only as strong as its weakest link.
Yeah.
Okay. And feel free, we don't have to go down this road. You were saying you used to need something opposing.
Yes.
Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
You know what?
Do you feel like that's part of the evolution here?
I think listen, I think that it's so funny. I had a moment looking around the other night at this, at the after party. I want a lot more of this. I don't want the other shit because I've been through that bullshit. It's like, I think what happens is, Becky, listen, I wasn't aware, I think, that people were keeping score. Stretch didn't get picked up theatrically. This movie didn't work. That movie, and I just think I just like to work. I just wanted to work. And then you realize, oh, no. You're being evaluated and assessed moment to moment, movie to movie to movie to movie. It doesn't matter. It's like, oh, that's really good. 5 people saw it. So I think I used to need this, like, I got to do 6 jobs, and this asshole's out for it, and he doesn't want this movie to be good, or and you realize like, my God, that's just this unnecessary expenditure of really valuable energy.
Exactly.
And I don't want to do it.
Yes.
I don't want to do it. I want to be surrounded by guys. I want to be surrounded. I always say this. It's like
so great.
People that can. It's like the Lethal Weapon thing. You know, a headshot in high wind at 1,000 yards. Give me those guys. Give me those guys. You know what I mean? Like, I want the Martin Riggs.
So
good. 3 guys in the world could have made that shot. I want everybody around me to be that guy. Because then
invested. Yes.
And
totally.
and again, like Juan Me, Kevin Hale. Kevin and I started in promotions in Sacramento in our mid-20s. You know, it's
that's amazing.
So it's like, and he's having this whole, because he's a phenomenally talented guy. So it's like but you really, I think I used to. I think it was contrivance.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, you're the one.
You need an enemy.
This asshole doesn't want this movie to be good. You know, it's like, and that's not really the way to go.
No, and you're exactly right. That energy that you now can free up to direct elsewhere, literally direct, but just to put toward other things.
Yeah.
And like, look what happened.
Yeah.
This is, I mean, it's the biggest movie in the world. Everyone loves it.
This is the first conversation I've had since this went down.
I'm
you and
pinching myself. Well, I'm hustling this through our edit. Normally I'm 2 to 3 weeks, or like maybe even longer sometimes, because I always want to be prepared.
Sure.
I'm like, will you
get this motherfucker out?
I am the director of the rip sitting here.
But again,
kidding me?
But isn't it funny because again, it's like you realize like, you're aware things have changed, and yet if you allow yourself to get lulled into this like, I'm the prom queen, and you're gonna get smashed, and it's like, and maybe a younger me before, I may have succumbed to that.
Yeah.
Now I'm just like, and again, without being a cynic or a pessimist or whatever.
No, you want to find that balance, right? Exactly. Like, take a minute, and like feel that, and at the same time, like you don't want your head to get so big that you kind of forget yourself. But you've been doing this such a long time, and you have such an incredible body of work behind you also.
Right.
So it's not like this, it's like, this is coming at a great time.
You know why? Because the vastness of my appreciation for it, right? It really is. It's
100%.
Like, it's just the amount
gratitude.
The gratitude and being like, my God, thank God. Because I'm going to tell you something. I know people I think are extraordinarily talented, better writers, better directors, but that never happened for them, And it's just like, so you got to take, you have to understand that a lot of it too is just, it's just right place, right time, and things work out.
And you have this real tenacity. It was a different conversation, but really similar to the one that your professor with the short films had with you, of like, let me give it to you straight. Here's where you are.
Yes.
And you were like, what am I going to do with this?
That was my very brilliant agent, Brian Ken, saying to me, very bracing, as you discussed, give it to him straight.
Totally.
And he told me this was like 2 years ago. In February, we're coming up on like 2 years. That's how fast this whole thing.
To make that movie, with those stars, incredible.
And the script didn't exist at that point. But out of that,
you had this idea.
I had the idea, and it was always an idea I really loved.
Yeah.
But I think on the heels of that conversation, it sparked me into, and even Becky, listen, there was a moment when everybody acknowledged how good the script was, and it was kind of like, yeah, but if he's directing, I don't know. And so I have text messages, but going back and forth with my buddy Marshall Cook, who I just love. Who's, by the way, we call him Not Without Hope, that 10 people saw. His scene in there, his work is my favorite in the film. And he's so really exceptional. But he's also a dear friend. And when I was like up against it, when I'd had this thing go down and the script was like, I'd had these passes and it's like, and he was just like, dude, it's a special script. Don't get down.
Yes.
And when this had happened, I wrote to him, buddy, I just move. I think that's what you have to do. And you have to take this. But there was a moment I was like, hey, listen, they go get Fincher, Soderbergh, somebody I love. Yeah. I'll step down. Like, I get it.
God bless.
Listen, I got to pay bills, man. And I got to be realistic about this.
Yep.
So that was where my head was. It was never like capitulation. It was more like, hey, listen, man, this is, buddy, you put yourself in this hole. I didn't realize it was a hole until you're like, wait a minute, I'm fighting off my back feet now, my back foot. So it's like, but listen, I've tried to do it right. And I've always said this, like, I got to look my kids in the eye. I will exit this business having never fucked anybody over. Having never taken money that didn't belong to me.
No, you're such a real one. It's so true. And
you have to.
Can we talk about the gray for a hot sec?
Yes.
Because as you know, I emailed you as I was revisiting.
Your kids thought there was something wrong with you.
Sobbing. And they were like, Mom, are you okay?
All right? Yeah.
Oh my God.
No.
I saw it when it came out,
Yeah.
and I hadn't seen it since. And that is just, it's an incredible film.
Thanks.
We don't have to stay on this for too
No,
long.
no, it's
but
okay. I don't mind talking about it. I love that experience.
Was that the most grueling experience you've ever
It
had?
was the
Though
most grueling.
I was.
Yeah, but you know what it is? It was most grueling, but what was incredible about it was like we were on an adventure and we happened to be making a movie. Like we were having this adventure.
What a great way to say that.
And we were also making this movie. So, and it's like, you're in 36 below zero weather.
Literally.
You're getting blown off the mountain. And what I found the most fascinating thing was like, it turns actors into reactors. They just want, they
don't have time.
The lizard brain is saying, we're going to die if we don't get warm.
This is survival,
so
baby. Yeah.
All the pretense out the fucking window. It's like,
we're fucking
get
freezing.
warm, you're dead.
Exactly. Truly.
So it was and it's so funny because I look at that, I can look at that movie, Becky, and it's like, it was a time and a place. I think I was in my 40s. I was considering my own mortality.
Yeah.
I was thinking about, God. I was thinking about the absence of God. I was thinking about all these things. And like, Liam, it was a perfect time and place. Like,
oh my God.
He's obviously dealing with the, he
the
lost,
grief of losing Natasha.
Not that early, not much earlier. So there's a lot at work in that film. And it's a very, that's a gut punch. It still makes me cry. I mean, it still gets me.
So this is the Liam Neeson survival thriller, The Gray. Plane crashes. There are 7 or 8 survivors, and it becomes sort of a like, and then there were like, they were kind of losing.
Yes. Yeah.
And The Gray refers to a lot of things, but it is that gut punch at the end, and which we won't give away, but also that flashback to little Liam sitting in his father's lap.
Sitting in his dad's lap. Yeah. By the way, that's James Baton, who was the AD, and his son, Johnny, who I think is like the #1 ranked hockey player in British Columbia right now.
Oh my God.
He's like a stud. I think he's playing like
that.
That's
great trivia about him.
Because it's like that idea of, and at the time, Becky, I remember when we did the test screening, there was outrage at the end when it just ended. Just outrage.
That's the most killer ending in the best way.
And I remember it was Roger Barton, Jason Hellman, Kevin Hale, and I. Right? Some studs on that movie.
Yeah.
It was like, we kind of was like, that's the ending. Like the decision, how you die is how you lived. Exactly. And it's just as important. And I think that was such a cool. But I remember
fucking taped his hands with those bottles.
What was amazing at that test screening, there was the outrage, and the moderator did a really brilliant job. It's like, okay, you're pissed off. You see this on a Friday. Who's talking about Saturday? Everybody's hands go up.
Right.
You see it on Saturday, he's talking about Sunday, everybody's hands go up.
Exactly.
Are you talking about the water cooler on Monday? Everybody's hands. So they got exactly the reaction we wanted.
Yes.
Just be
good for you that you were
controversial,
able,
whatever it was. Yeah. Because that was the thing.
Well, and because those test screenings are oh my God. Like you want to
I just want to kill. Yeah.
Truly. And then they're
people.
Like, but our scores are this number, so we can't. I once had a test screening of a movie that is so good, but I shall not name it here. That tested a 33, and everyone lost their minds.
Yeah.
And we kept it as is, and it's a fucking great movie. And there you go. It's
Smokin' Aces tested at 27. I never changed it.
Good for you.
It tested at 27. I think it has a 27 to on Rotten Tomatoes. And I've never made more money in residuals on a movie in my life than Smokin' Aces. I'm not kidding you.
No.
To this day, I get these residuals like, what is, oh my God.
That movie is so gorgeous.
Yeah. Mauro Fiore, won an Oscar for Avatar, but like Mauro, that movie does not look like it's 20 years old.
No. Incredible.
Yeah.
But I do think, to bring it all back to the rip, every experience you've had, how great you are with actors, your eye.
Yeah.
And again, not going to give anything away. There is a shot of 2 actors. One turns around and then as they're standing in the street.
Yes.
And the other, what a fucking shot.
Yeah.
How about, and I'm not giving anything away here because it's in the trailer, the gun, the shadow of the gun.
Yeah.
Oh, as Ben's going through the house.
The shadow of him at the end. The shadow on the wall at the end. It's like, it's doom. I mean, it's so funny because it's like, listen, a lot of noir is horror. Horror and noir are kind of kissing cousins.
Yeah.
Ways, right. You realize there's a lot of they share a lot of similarities.
Yeah.
And that's the way we did it because it really is a haunted house movie. And the villain, the bad guy's the money.
I love that.
It's a haunted house.
Oh my God, I need a second. Like, say that again. Oh my God.
The Rip is a haunted house movie. It absolutely is. That movie's haunted. The house is haunted. What's it haunted by? Money, temptation, greed, avarice.
Which comes back to that great line that you have in there that Ben says when Matt and Ben are sitting talking to Desi, Sasha Kaye's character, and she's like, I already told you, I don't know what's up there. And he's like, yeah, but when I said that dog smells money, I saw the look on your face, and I've been doing this a long time.
Yeah, you got shook.
So what's there? Yeah, exactly.
Right.
It's just, you have this great way with your dialogue, I always find, that it's very, like, it's punchy. It has an energy to it, but it's real human.
Right.
It doesn't feel like a screenplay.
Right. That's great. That's great. But I think that it has to be conversational. It's
yes.
Like, and again, that's why I don't get precious about it. It's like, I used to say, like, the writer and director and me were like long time friends. They haven't spoken in years. I mean, they are estranged.
These are not on good terms.
They're not on good terms. Because invariably I'll be like, what idiot wrote this? Oh, I did. That was me. So it's like, but you have to have, I never get to use the word fungible, so I use it here. Fungible is better than malleable. But fungible meaning, like, you got to, this, you got to bounce. You're making a movie. You got to bounce. You got to know when, okay, guys, we're getting a little too up our own ass here.
Exactly.
Relax.
Exactly.
It's a movie.
Totally.
Let's figure it out. And I also think that's the way to approach it. It's like, yeah, it's millions of dollars. Yeah, it's just like, listen, we're not in the salt mines in Siberia. We're making a movie, guys.
Yes.
No yelling and screaming. No disrespecting people. No denigrating. No talking down. No demeaning. I don't go for it. I can't stand it. I won't play it.
And if we can get home and have dinner with our fucking families, all the better.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, no, I totally, and that's the efficiency piece. There's so much of that, and just the looks when they find the money, and then that you're coming from behind the, I think it's a Jesus statue, maybe.
Yeah.
But no, it's great. I mean, and also, why is this attic is spotless?
Yeah, exactly.
Like just all the little turns that you do not see coming.
But also, I think my favorite scene might be Catalina talking about the money, like what this little bit of money will do for me. Do you know this little bit of money right here?
I'm so glad you brought that up.
Yeah.
I meant to bring that up because I thought for what everyone in Hollywood is going through right now, it actually felt like such an analogy to me.
I just want a little bit of relief.
Just a little. Exactly, the relief.
I just want to knock the edge off.
Exactly.
Like, I got to pay my kids' tuition. I got to pay this house.
And Lolo has the girls that she doesn't get to FaceTime, and her ex is going to fucking kill her about it. You know,
the little touches like that, because once you do that,
they're people.
Becky, once you do that, and you imperil people, you imperil characters you love.
Yes.
Then you're firing on all cylinders.
And with your casting, again, Lolo, Catalina, Teyana Taylor playing Numa, Stephen Yun, Mike. I mean, all of these, Kyle Chandler, incredible. Like, you love all these characters.
Yeah.
So you are so on board.
Yes.
And we have a history with a lot of them.
But also, it's like, you got to remember, like, an hour of that is in one house, and then a half hour nearly is in the back of a truck. And if you don't have your shit together, it's going to fall apart. And you really, what you're really doing there, it's like, it's an action movie. It's not really an action movie. It's a drama with a couple action scenes.
Yes.
But it's more of a drama.
Yes.
You could do this as a stage play.
It is. It's so funny. I was trying, as I was like, I always struggle anyway with like summing things up or putting things in a box. And I think with your work, and again, revisiting so much of it, it is thrillers. Yes. Action, a lot of them. Dramatic fully, and always a touch of comedy with everything you do.
Right.
How about when Matt Damon goes, just the tip? I really can't find the fucking humor in this.
It's a thrown away,
like, It's a throwaway line, but it's not.
Just a tip? Yeah.
In NARC.
Yeah.
First of all, John Ortiz. I had
Johnny
forgotten that's John Ortiz.
I know, man.
That incredible scene.
I know, he's
Everyone
so
go rewatch NARC if you haven't seen it. It's incredible.
John's just such a great actor.
When that fucking scene, when Ray Liotta says to him, it's almost impossible that you're this stupid. Or I'm not even getting the line right, but it's like close to that.
Yeah, it's almost impossible you're this dumb.
It's incredible. And I'm just so happy for you, because I think it all comes to fruition in the rip, because now everyone in the world has seen this movie and is going to see it again. Right. Because
there is
as I said,
rewatchability.
It rewards a rewatch.
Because now you want to see how the sausage is made.
Correct.
And all the little,
contraptions.
contraptions.
I watched it twice over the weekend, and I really picked up on different things the second time around. You're seeing it in a different way. Yes. When I made Palm Springs, we talked about that a lot. It rewards a rewatch.
100%.
You're seeing the little things. This movie, like, I'm going to go watch it again.
I
loved it.
I loved it.
It's like all I want in a movie.
Yeah, but I think, again, it's like, we don't make movies like this anymore.
We don't.
I know we don't. I know we don't. And by the way, largely analog, not a lot of CG.
No.
Practical effects, practical gunfire. It's what I applaud Chris Nolan for doing. It's like bringing back this real sense of like, the forced perspective, the old tricks that people used to use.
Yeah.
And then the glee that we still have. It's like, look, it's not dead. I mean,
Totally.
He made a 3-hour movie about Robert Oppenheimer that made $1 billion.
Yes.
I always cite that. I go, don't tell me this business is law.
I know.
This guy made a movie about quantum mechanics.
Yes.
And I think only Chris could have made it at that level and that success.
Totally.
But it's like, but I love it. I love it. It's a movie with people in rooms talking, and it made $1 billion.
You're going to get a lot of incoming now.
Yeah.
And you're going to measure that. And God,
Right.
please go make a sequel to this movie. But also, like immediately. But also, you're going to see. And because you are not just sitting around, I can't wait to see what you do next.
You and me both. And by the way, you also have a bunch of scripts that are sitting there that suddenly it's like, well, we're very interested in this.
We always love Joe C.
We love him.
I know.
Yeah, that's okay. Like I said, it's a function of the business.
It is.
And you simply say, this is the way it is. And we can like accept it
Yep.
and move on with it and so on.
I talked about this a few weeks ago. When I stayed home full time with my kids for 3 years and couldn't do anything for anyone, boy, did those dinners get canceled real quickly.
Oh, no
boy,
shit.
did they lose your number.
Oh, absolutely.
And then when I was running a movie studio
running a
or
studio.
whatever, Sloviter.
Becky,
Hey!
buddy. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, of
exactly.
course. Isn't that
And-
amazing though, how that,
Yes.
yeah.
And what I'll say is we forgive, we don't forget.
No, that's true.
Right?
Well, by the way, it's
I know exactly who those people were.
Exactly. And by the way, it's like, listen, and this is not anything that I'm proud of, but I famously wrote an email to someone some years ago.
Yes, you did.
That got picked up. And I think what happened was somebody, he hung it in his office and somebody took a picture of it and whatever else.
Yes.
Not a proud moment for me, but what it was. And I realized, like, listen, that stuff across the aggregate of your career, that hurts you. Because and I think what Brian was telling me that day is like, they need to be able to trust you, dude. Nobody's debating talent.
Yeah.
They need to be able to trust you.
Yeah.
And I think that comes from, I think what I thought early on, Becky, is I had to fight everybody. Listen, you can become your own worst. You can become an impediment and your own worst enemy in that. You have to adapt and overcome,
Totally.
really in this business. And just know this is just the way it is. You may not like it, but this is the way it is.
Yep. Yes,
and
it's
that,
the acceptance.
I understand they need reassurance. I understand that now.
Totally.
And I think before it's like, what the fuck? You're fucking with me. Get out of my way. It's like, that's not really the way it works.
No. And by being sort of putting yourself out there, being able to be vulnerable enough to trust, then people can also trust you.
Yes, exactly.
And
not having, listen, I always say, like, I don't have an ego to speak of. I think the thing that we do and the movie we're making or whatever the hell has a tremendous ego. And you better figure out a way to feed this fucking thing.
Yeah.
Or it's going to eat everybody. And I have always kind of approached the work that way. It's like, guys, like, let's take this very seriously. Let's not take ourselves too seriously.
100%.
We're making movies, man. They've been trusted to make shit up and play, right? That's a hell of a job to have. So chill with the like.
I love it.
No, it's like,
I love it.
There's just a way to be. And I think I've gotten to the point now where I understand that.
Such a good philosophy.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so excited for you. This is going to be great.
I hope so, love. I hope so.
We have gotten to the final part of the podcast, Last Looks, where we do this segment at the end of every one where I'm going to ask you 4 questions. You know where the term Last Looks comes from, obviously.
Yes.
But I thought it was like a cute little alliteration, but
great.
also because I want this podcast, I want it to be a lot of things, but what I want it to be also is a celebration of the pop culture we love.
Love it.
And that influenced us, that inspired us, and that is like maybe here to save us during these
I couldn't agree
crazy
more.
times.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, Last Looks.
Yes.
What is either your favorite movie of all time or a few movies that you love and have been inspired by and are representative of your taste?
Oh boy, I think this is good. I think, listen, Raiders of the Lost Ark is the movie that made me want to make movies when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And then getting into that, obviously you the exploration becomes, there's a lot of different things you see. I love, there's a movie called Harakiri from 1962. Masaki Kobayashi, that's my favorite samurai film.
Oh, wow.
It has every great thing that a great movie should have in it. And Takashi Miike tried to remake it, I think in 2014, it wasn't the same.
Yeah.
That's a brilliant film. All the President's Men, Alan Pakula, I love. Raging Bull, I love. Scorsese. Persona, Ingmar Bergman. Soderbergh famously said, it's like, depending on which week you catch me. It's like, I just took my girls to see Jaws in the theater when, they'd never seen Jaws. They'd never seen Quint's death, which was a big deal.
Oh, wow.
They had never, because I said, this is our, and so before we went back, they made me stand all the way across the room with my phone and show it to them on my phone. So they could, they really prepare themselves. So
totally.
But again, it just depends on, because it's so, that list is always a movable feast.
And even as you're naming, I love All the President's Men so much, and I'm like Watergate obsessed, but also
Riff has very much
I was going to say,
absolutely,
very much
absolutely.
so I can see that as we got here. I was like, okay, what am I pouring your water into? And I was like, I know without knowing that you're a Midnight Run fan.
My God, I'm a giant Midnight Run fan.
Me,
by the way,
me too.
Why they haven't? Well, I mean, it's so ripe for remake, but it's like, but also the great double ending.
No.
The great double ending. See you in the next life, Jack.
Oh my
come
God.
on, man.
When you go onto my Instagram, it says Serrano's got the discs.
Serrano's got the
all
discs.
I want to do is talk about
Oh
Midnight
my
Run.
God.
It is.
How great's Dennis Farina in that movie too?
He's perfect.
Yes. Yeah.
It was one of his first, if not his first role. But when he's like, Sydney, what,
I'm gonna get up and put this fucking phone in your head. I mean,
more on number one, put more on number two on the phone.
I mean, my God.
It's perfect in every way.
Yes,
but
yes.
I feel like that, and again, the action, the humor, I can just see
I love
that
it.
influence too.
And plus, it's one of the last great buddy movies of the 80s.
It really is.
It really is.
And the character work when he goes to see his ex-wife and his daughter.
By the way, do you want to see? Did you catch this, Becky? Here's a fucking Easter egg.
Tell me.
When Matt Damon leans forward and Ben puts the towel back on his neck, that's De Niro putting the coat in when they leave the. De Niro puts Charles Grodin's coat inside the door and closes it. Matt and Ben and I did that in the rip. I just got chills. I forgot about that. And when he said, remember Midnight? I go, oh my God, with the coat. I go, yeah.
Oh
when he leans forward,
God.
we put the towel on his at the end. That's what that was from. Got you emotional, didn't it? That was a Midnight Run. It's so amazing you brought that. I forgot until you said it in this moment. There's the magic of the podcast.
I've never
right
been
there.
so happy.
I know.
This
there
is
it
amazing.
How crazy is that? Because you said
love it.
when she goes to see his daughter. And she comes out. I get choked up. It's such a fucking honey,
time that she comes out with her babysitting money, and he won't take it.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And
it's such a great scene because
incredible.
It's like by that one conversation with his wife. They tell you all this backstory. Bonnie Bedelia and Bruce Willis. It's like I know exactly what you think of our marriage. Like whoa.
Yes, Holly.
Yes,
exactly.
You miss my last name.
Holly Gennaro. Yeah, exactly.
It's like whoa.
Oh my God.
You unpack. So much.
Yeah. And this is what, I mean, again, this is exactly what I want Last Looks to be, because it is celebrating this thing that you were able to do with Mike Stop, right?
Right.
But we don't have that so much in movies these days. There's not that, like, give the audience credit that that we can, as full humans, fuck with the tone of what Midnight Run has been up to that point.
Yeah.
And then when they are shit out of luck, he has to go see his ex-wife.
Yes.
Get the car. Do you have any money? I'll give you what I have in the house, the whole thing. I mean, for Jack Walsh to do that.
I mean, my God, it's so good.
Right? But for the pride and the humiliation of it and all of it, but he has no choice.
Yes.
And then the daughter. And then you can get right back to it. Where Yaphet Kotto, who is, I mean, Alonzo Mosley, the performance of a lifetime. I can't. I can't.
The other guy's name was Alonzo Mosley. Alonzo Mosley. But it's like, but again, but you think about it, that would be something that the studio would be like, you don't need that scene.
100%.
You don't need that.
It's tonally, we can't. No, I know.
Guys,
I know.
You got it down. People are. I'm telling you, we do a disservice to the audience thinking that they're this dense. They're not.
Totally.
They're not.
And you can have in the rip what it is and what its log line is, right? You're not going to talk about Matt Damon's predicament with his son in your log line.
Yeah.
But it's a huge part of the movie, even though it's only lightly touched on.
Right. And,
right?
And again, I don't think you get the, think of that, in Fargo, the Mike Yamagita. Mike Yamagita! She has this whole scene with this guy.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah. And it's like, oh, no, Marge. No, his wife
Yeah.
left him. She's not dead. I mean, the whole,
no.
it didn't mean anything to, now it'd be like, get rid of that, get rid of that. It is a beautiful,
That movie's not that movie without that.
It's not that movie without
Couldn't
that. You're
agree
absolutely
more.
right.
Couldn't agree more.
I'm leaving the Coens out. I mean, that's a movie I have to.
What's your favorite
Raising
Coen
Arizona.
Yeah.
Raising Arizona, hands down. I've been so inspired. Smokin' Aces is absolutely Raising Arizona.
Totally.
Right? It's
I can see that.
I love that. But there's so many. I'm like Barton Fink.
I know.
just would rewatch Miller's Crossing. That would have won an Oscar for Best Picture if it came. I mean, it's fantastic. It's a brilliant movie.
Yes.
I love it. I love it.
I love it. This is so great.
Yeah.
Okay. Music. So I was remembering, and when you walked in the door, Matt and I were like, okay, so the last time we saw you was when we went up to Berkeley to see the Pixies in concert at whatever, is it called the Greek?
The Greek Theater. The Greek in
up
Berkeley.
at Berkeley.
Yeah.
So we went there, and then we met you and your sister Leah.
That's right.
For brunch the next day because we were up there. That's the last time I think we've physically seen each other, which is fucking crazy because that is 22 years ago. But I feel like you are a big music person.
Yes.
I can't wait to know your answers to this.
Okay.
You're stranded on a deserted island.
Oh, God.
You have 2 albums with you to help maintain your sanity until you are rescued. What are those 2 albums?
I would probably say it would have to be a Frank Sinatra album. One. It would have to be maybe one of his like the greatest hits compilations because it's a bunch of discs, right? So it's Sinatra.
Great.
OK Computer Radiohead is a pretty. God, I would also say maybe Melancholy and Infant Sadness, Smashing Pumpkins. Just because it's like, there's so many songs. My daughter was born around then. They're really nostalgic to me. I want to think about my kids and stuff. But I mean, my God, I could go.
I love these answers.
The Bright Lights, like,
I also just had a total flash to me being muted on the phone with your agent when I was his assistant and the Radiohead show at the Bowl in 2003. You were like, I gotta rearrange things because I'm fucking going to that show.
By the way, did I say Tom York? Literally, I terrified Tom York. I was drunk. I said, I used to do Mission Impossible theater, and they whisked him away so fucking fast. They're like, there's this giant. No. I used to shake my head back then. There's a giant neo-Nazi who tried to grab Tom York and get him to do the Mission Impossible 3 theme. I was so obnoxious.
That's amazing.
And I didn't listen. I was so pissed off. I'm like, he didn't do anything wrong. It was you idiot. He's this big, drunken, lumbering oaf attacking a musical genius, you know? What are you doing?
Yeah, oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay, those are great choices. I also love Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness. That is like 1995 to me, so hard.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
There's you know what's crazy? I had the song Hummer. I hadn't heard it in years. I was driving home from Northern California to LA, and there's a break in that song, and I had the sense memory of my daughter at she was sick and I was holding her and I had this fucking, even now.
Yeah.
And it was like the most remarkable memory, this really sweet memory. And I'd never experienced that where it's like the song completely in that one moment I remembered, my God, I don't think I've heard this since then. And it completely
transports you, right?
Completely shot me into this other time and place. It was wild.
I love that. Wild. And that's really emotional. And that's also that's sort of the essence of why this question is not just like, what are some of your favorite albums? Like you're stranded on a desert island you want to reconnect with.
Yeah.
Is the Frank Sinatra, were your parents really into Sinatra?
They were not. I was, and I just got into him and I just became,
that's awesome.
I just loved him so much.
And
and he became, and then when I got a house out in the desert in La Quinta, I would just always play Sinatra in the Sonos. That was it.
Love that.
You know what I mean? Like,
it's a vibe.
I love, it's a vibe, but I just love, and I love what he was doing. And there's a part of one of these albums where he talks about segregation in Nevada and racism and how I just don't understand why we're dealing with this now. And I thought, what a ballsy thing to say back then.
Totally.
When he was such an advocate. And I know a lot of people like, oh, he's an asshole. It's like, Ava Gardner famously said, just shut up and sing. When you sing, you're an angel. You're not a bastard. You're an angel. But I just love, because I had such great, my grandmother, my grandma Ann listened to Sinatra. But it's like I would want to feel hopeful.
I love
that. And Frank makes you feel like, okay,
totally.
there's something just around the corner. It's gonna be okay. Like a ship that's going to come get you, or what,
exactly.
or planes going to fly overhead. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. Okay, books. Do you have a favorite book of all time, or a book you've read lately that's really stayed with you?
I'll tell you, Becky. I read Kavi Akbar wrote this book called Martyr, and it's the most beautiful book I've read in probably the last 20 years.
Oh wow!
It is a beautiful, beautiful book.
I haven't heard of this. Great.
I'm reading Ian McEwan's this book right now called All We Can Know. But I got to tell you, Anthony Jeselnik, the comedian, is a avid, voracious reader. If you just go on his recommends, invariably, the Kavi Akbar book was a Jeselnik book.
Oh, I love that.
And I thought, and I read it, and Lena Esco, I gave it to Lena to read, and I told her, and I'll tell you if you read it back.
Yeah.
You have to take a picture of your face the moment the thing happens at the end of the book, and she's just
ugly cry
streaming down her face. It is a beautiful. I reached out to Kavi.
I can't wait.
I think he's a Iranian American, 38 years old. He's young to be writing for his level of prose. I just feel like I don't know shit about writing, and I said this to him.
And you're such a good writer.
Your facility, your way with words and wording and descriptions is so extraordinary. It's so mystifying. I'm like, and he reached back to me. I was like, oh my God, he wrote back. Holy shit!
I love it.
That book,
we're all fans.
Really, I want to read it again. I'm going to give it another 2 months. I'm going to read it again.
Wow, because it is okay. I can't wait.
You cannot. The end will literally tear your heart and soul out. It's great.
I'm not ready, but I can't wait.
I know. Yeah.
I love it.
Beautiful book.
Okay, last question. TV shows. Do you have a favorite of all time, or one you've watched recently and loved and would recommend?
I think The Wire is my favorite, just because it's just, I think it's because
it's perfect in every way.
It's like the sprawling Russian novel made American,
Totally.
It really is. And it's like,
totally.
I just think that those guys were just still, some of the stuff they did in those, and I loved. every minute. Like I'll never forget. There's a scene in there where the Marlo Stansfield, the kind of the final bad boss, that kid Jamie. God, what was his name? He's such a good actor. He looks almost like a cougar. Like he's like this kind of like. And there's this. He deliberately he's paying for this water bottle in the store, and there's a security guard who knows who this guy is. Knows this guy's a baller.
Yeah.
A shot caller. And he's like, he pays for him and he takes a handful of like suckers and puts them in his pocket. And they walk outside and the security guy goes, hey man, hey listen, I'm not stepping to you. I'm not trying to, but don't do that. Don't do that to another man. But don't do that. And his response is, you want it to be one way, but it's the other. And he walks away. It's like, what the fuck? You want it to be one way, but it's the other. Meaning bad guys win. Good guys are security guards. You know what I mean? It was like, wow. Fantastic.
The level of writing and the fact that show,
man.
It's incredible.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Did you watch We Own This City?
No, I did not.
Oh, you would love it. And Bernthal. Bernthal.
I mean, JB.
Oh,
I love
so
Johnny
good.
Bernthal.
Oh, my
John's
God.
so great, man.
He is the best.
By the way, he was going to play the Kyle Chandler role.
I know this, and I actually wasn't sure why it didn't happen. I had lunch with him up in Ojai right before he was going down to Miami.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I love Joe C. You'll have a great time.
Yeah.
And then I was like, wait, what's happening? And
By the way, it actually worked out because Kyle has such a, Coach Taylor like that. It worked out beautifully.
Yes, it did.
But I love John.
He is.
I want to see him in Dog Day Afternoon. He's doing Dog Day Afternoon with
Eben. I know.
I mean, come on.
I know. No.
That's like a must see.
This is on some level, and I love that we were able to weave this in. It's a John Bernthal fan cast also. I like somehow bring this up all the time. But he's also, what a just like interesting, layered human.
Yeah.
Like such a sweetheart and also so fucking intense and so smart. I love his podcast.
Yes.
And what an incredible fucking actor.
Oh, what a great guy. And also just like John reminds me like Ray Liotta, and he had that in common. Like John is always more interested in you. He's always more interested in what you have to say. And Ray was like that. Ray was like, what do you do? He was always so charming and it was genuine. There was an authenticity. He's like, he really wanted to know about you and what you did and your life and so on. It's
Rest in peace.
I know.
And we could make this also like a little bit of a dedication to Ray, but it's his performance in NARC, his performance in SMOKIN ACEs. You had such a great collaboration with him.
Oh, come on. He and Ryan were just, they had the best time. And it was like,
Ryan Reynolds in that movie.
Yeah.
Them at the beginning of the van. Oh, wait. And we will actually wrap up this podcast in one sec. Mo Green. Because I imagine Godfather's a big thing for you, right?
Big thing, huge.
So and again, go rewatch SMOKIN ACEs, but there is such great stuff there. And then I'm like, oh, I know that voice.
I know that, right? I know. You know what's great about that? Not that long ago, it was last summer when he was finishing Wolverine and Deadpool.
Yeah.
Ryan writes me the most beautiful, he goes, dude, I've made 50 odd movies. I got to tell you, the memories I have from SMOKIN ACEs are so singular to me. Like, remembering this, remembering that, remembering this moment, remembering Alicia and I training, remembering, he's like, I don't know why, it's just stuck. I said, dude, what a lovely observation to be in the middle of one of the biggest fucking movies that anyone's ever going to see.
Yeah.
And to reach out to me with this really kind of like this is kind of
wonderful.
Nice little tip of the hat. It was great. By the way, his scene with Andy Garcia at the end, I'll put that up against, I love that scene. He's just, and by the way, the idea, the total like giving it like because I had the cowboy ending where he just shot everybody at the end.
Oh,
and we didn't use that.
Yeah,
we used somehow a bleaker ending than that. But
that's
again,
what we're going for.
Just that, yeah. But just and again, what I was saying earlier, it's never allowed that movie to be made now. But it's like it does. I have the same great fond memories of that.
So
film.
great.
Yeah,
I love that he did that.
Yeah.
Well, this has been. I am like vibrating with buddy.
I didn't want to come in here. Like throw a goose egg
trigger
on
me.
Yeah, exactly. Like
I'd be like, 1 moment, please. 1 moment. I am honored that you're here genuinely.
Oh,
the timing couldn't have been better.
Yes, yeah.
Your movie is so fucking great.
Thank you.
Everyone go watch it, and I can't wait for the Rip 2. No pressure, lots of pressure.
No pressure, Netflix. Lots of pressure, Netflix.
Exactly. I love it.
Thank you for having me.
Josie.
Come on.
You're the best. I never know how to end this, so I'm going to get up and give you.
You got to hug me. Yeah.
That's it. General Meeting with Becky Sloviter is hosted and executive produced by me, Becky Sloviter. Our editor is Jay Rothman. Our audio engineer and director of photography is Hector Fernandez. Our tech producer is Griffin Davis. And our theme music is by Jay Rothman. If you're enjoying this podcast, I would be so appreciative if you would subscribe or follow the show on whatever platform you get your podcasts. All of our episodes are on video as well on our YouTube channel at General Meeting Pod. Please consider subscribing there as well. You can also find us on Instagram and TikTok at @GeneralMeetingPod, and more information is on our website, generalmeetingpod.com. Thank you, and most importantly, go Birds.